Raider Nation, what's going on? We got some breaking news here to discuss. The Las Vegas Raiders are signing quarterback Gardner Minshew to a 2-year deal worth $25 million with $15 million guaranteed. Coming up on the show, I'm going to give you my honest, instant reaction to this move. What does it mean for the Raiders in the draft? What does it mean for Aiden O'Connell? What does it mean for a potential Justin Fields trade? There are so many rumors. There are so much things circulating around this move right now that, let's face it, there is a lot of unknowns of why the Raiders decided to go this route. But whether you like the move or whether you don't, this is why you subscribe to the Raiders Report. We are keeping you up to date. Not only are we live on YouTube right now with over 5,000 people watching, but we're breaking this for you down right now. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. What I want to know from the nation, though, is grade the signing of Gardner Minshew on a 2-year, $25 million deal with $15 million guaranteed. If you love the move, it's an A. If it's a good move, B. Average, C. You bad move, D. It's a fail. I want you to give it an F. Even though I do think that it's a weird move, even though I don't love the move, I'm not going to give it an F grade. I am going to give it a D grade for Gardner because at the end of the day, Minshew is an upgrade over Aiden O'Connell. He is. Whether you like to hear that or not, Gardner Minshew is an upgrade over Aiden O'Connell. And I kind of laugh because Crosby was calling Minshew a little ass boy. I don't know if you guys heard that whole story back in Week 17 when these two teams went up against each other. So the good news is, yes, you improve at the quarterback spot. The bad news is, though, you still do not have a top 25 quarterback in the NFL on your roster. I will say if there's like a little bit of a shining hope here, it's when you give a quarterback the amount of money that they just gave Minshew here, so 2-year, $25 million, $12.5 million is backup QB money. Like, that's not starting quarterback in the NFL. So I'm not sitting up here saying that it's going to be Gardner Minshew against Aiden O'Connell in a quarterback battle. Like, that's not what I'm sitting up here saying. What I am saying is there is still a chance that the Raiders maybe trade up for a QB in the draft. There is still a chance that potentially you could trade for a Justin Fields. I'll admit, I would not have gone this route. I would not have gone the Gardner Minshew route. If this tells me anything, it just goes to show how little of confidence Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco legitimately had in Aiden. Like, I know that they said that they believed. Like, I know that they said that they believed in Aiden O'Connell, and I know that they said it was his job to lose. But when you make a move like this, actions speak louder than words. This just goes to show you that the Raiders had never ever thought that Aiden could ever have been their starting quarterback this upcoming season. When you look at some of the moves that they've already made, you got Andre James, you address the offensive line, you address the interior defensive line. This move, though, by Gardner makes me think that I'm still holding out faith that he's the quarterback too. I'm still holding out faith that he's the quarterback too on this roster. When you look at his season this past year, he took over for Anthony Richardson on the Indianapolis Colts, and realistically, he took over a team that might have been one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Like, how this team was able to move the football effectively on a weekly basis was pretty surprising. He had a 62.2% completion percentage, 3,305 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a QBR of 59.6. When you go look at some of his numbers throughout the entirety of his career, he's bounced around. He's been on the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's been on the Philadelphia Eagles. And he's been a part of some winning franchises. He won a Super Bowl ring, right? No, he didn't win a Super Bowl ring with Philadelphia. It was in the Super Bowl when he was a part of Philadelphia. Obviously did not win one. That's on me. But, you're finding the dude who does have some starting experience, but, I can't sit up here legitimately look in your eyes and tell you that I love it. It's a D move for me overall because, yes, you upgraded at the quarterback spot, but you still do not have a legit QB that you're going to be able to go out there and compete with. Like, the Raiders still have a need at quarterback. Your still biggest need is that QB. So, I get that you were able to secure a backup. Gardner's going to beat out Aiden O'Connell. Lock that one in right now. Is Aiden going to be the third-string QB? Is that what you're going to roll with for your third-string QB? Is going to be Aiden O'Connell? Potentially. And they're going to battle it out. But there is still a lot, and I mean a lot of unknowns yet to be had here. Coming up next here on the show, are the Justin Fields trade rumors dead? Because there's a lot of speculation out there that the Raiders are talking to Fields, that there's something in the works right now. I am seeing it from multiple credible sources. Tafer's been throwing out the idea that they could still potentially kick the tires on Justin Fields. And then there's even more rumors out there that the Raiders could potentially be looking at Fields. Like, just because they signed Minshew, to me, does not mean that this team is done looking for a quarterback. And if they are done looking for a quarterback, then I'm not happy. I know we have Christian Wilkins, but you still got to be able to go out and find a QB. Now, we're going to talk about the Justin Fields trade rumors here in just a moment, but today's show is presented by PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and make sure that you use code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. All you got to do is pick 2+ players, choose more or less. It's super easy. It's fun. Way to go. Taino, I just saw your message. No, you did not miss the Chugs boot yet. And if anybody's watching this live, we're going to be doing it here in just a little bit. But to me, you can get started with PrizePicks because they are the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. And whether you want to get started with NBA, college basketball, or NHL, we got picks for all of the following. So to me, listen up right now. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Make sure that you use code CLNS. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So let's continue to talk about Justin Fields because I am being told that there is still a chance that the Raiders trade for Justin Fields. And I think that if the Raiders end up trading for Fields, it kind of just goes to show, and I don't mean any disrespect to some of these Raiders beat reporters, but Vic Tafur tweets out that the Raiders are kicking the tires on Justin Fields, and I'm not shitting you. 2 minutes later, the Raiders end up signing Gardner Minshew. Then you could see Tafur kind of backpedaling here a little bit. And then now I'm looking here, and again, every single Raiders beat reporter said that the Raiders ended up hiring Luke Getsy because they thought Fields was the problem, not Getsy. Every Raiders beat reporter put out there that the Raiders were not going to trade for Justin Fields. And even though I had sat up here on the show and I've said, there's a lot of connections and there's a lot of reasons why it does make sense of why the Raiders would trade for Fields. If you can get him for a third-round pick, there's still some interest there. The Raiders should still show a little bit of interest in that regard. But this one, to me, just seems like a big old swing and a miss by the Raiders beat reporters, which it is what it is. I know how difficult of a job it is. But, right now, you got Amir Abdullah, you got Andre James, Christian Wilkins, Gardner Minshew signed to the Raiders. There was one move that I was really worried how the Raiders would address their quarterback position. I was hoping that nothing crazy would happen. This is chalking it up to be a little bit crazy. So, would you, if you're the Raiders, trade for Justin Fields? Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, because due to reports, the initial price is not as high as what it was originally expected. If it was a third-round pick right now for Fields, pick number 77 overall for the Raiders, to go get Fields, would you do it? Would you do it? Give me a yes. Give me a no. The reason why I'm sitting up here saying yes, I would do it is because Fields is the better quarterback than Gardner Minshew. Fields is a better quarterback than Aiden O'Connell. The Raiders with Gardner Minshew are not a playoff caliber team. The Raiders with Aiden O'Connell are not a playoff caliber team. I don't even know if the Raiders are a playoff caliber team with Justin Fields, but I do think that there is a better chance of them making the playoffs with a young QB that's actually got some upside in Fields rather than somebody like Gardner Minshew, rather than somebody like Aiden O'Connell. I mean, how can Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco say that they don't want to put a Band-Aid at the quarterback position? Gardner Minshew is the definition of a Band-Aid at the quarterback position. They said that they were looking for a franchise quarterback that they could have for the next 10 years. If you think Gardner Minshew is your franchise quarterback for the next 10 years, I got a lot of questions about what you're doing as an organization. So yes, I am reacting to this just like all of you are. The instant reaction of the Raiders signing Gardner Minshew. And the reason why I'm worked up right now is because I'm legit scared that Las Vegas is going to go into this season with Gardner and Aiden O'Connell. I'm still hopeful and hoping that Telesco and Antonio Pierce know that that's a bad decision and that you still need to upgrade at the quarterback position. So whether that means trading up for Jaden Daniels, whether that means going out and trading for Justin Fields, or maybe trading back and figuring out a way, how can I get a Michael Penix Jr.? A lot of questions to be figuring out. Luckily, though, that's why you subscribe. We're going to be talking a lot about the quarterback market, and I mean a lot about the quarterback market this entire offseason. To make sure you never miss anything, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and if you're not watching this live, pull up to the Raiders Report. We got 5,000 people here. Let's turn up.